Hey guys, welcome back to another episode on the Megalo. So unfortunately, since the last episode, I've had to make some changes to how we're actually going to proceed on this control panel. So after I cut all the holes and kind of had everything set up and laid out, I put the buttons and I put the joystick on there, and I realized like immediately it wasn't going to make any sense. So because the top panel is steel and it's maybe like 1/8 of an inch, there's not enough room for me to countersink the screws for the JLF, the joystick, and have enough meat there for it to hold without it loosening up. And then I have the art over top of it that will actually help, keep everything flush. You'd have to pretty much put the screws through the artwork, and I really don't want to do that. As you can kind of see in a lot of the other candy cap stuff here, you don't really see the joystick hole. So I really want to kind of follow that same idea for the Megalo cap. So I didn't want to have this thing that just had a bunch of screws kind of sticking through it. So what I realized we were going to have to do is take the thicker polycarbonate sheet that I bought. It's basically like a butcher block cutting board material, and we're going to actually use that as the main control panel. We're going to go ahead and cut out all of the holes that we already drilled, which I know is shitty. I wasted about $20 in Dremel tools in a whole day cutting that out. But sometimes you learn. That's the only way you learn. But we're going to basically cut all that stuff out. And then with the new stuff that we do today on today's video, once that square or rectangle is cut out, the new piece will fit right into that. And then we're going to bolt the butcher block or the polycarbonate to the metal panel. And then finally have an 1/8 inch thick plastic acrylic sheet on top with the art underneath it. So it'll look exactly like an actual Megalo cab, but it is going to require a little bit more work. So today what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at kind of a walkthrough of what we're going to do to that polycarbonate. We're going to go ahead and cut it up and kind of see how the buttons and joystick are going to mount. So let's jump into it. Alright, so we are back up at the shop here, working more on the Megalo this time. So as we just discussed, I explained why we have to change some things, but what we're going to do here is go ahead and pan down here to kind of show you what we'll be working on. Basically this is the polycarbonate sheet we had. We're going to trim this thicker piece of plastic to this size so it actually fits on top of this, and then we're going to be taking our angle cutter or grinder and actually cutting this whole piece out. So then this thicker plastic piece will be the mounting bracket for that. So all I'm going to do to start off is take my jigsaw and kind of just manually trim this stuff out, and then we'll have a piece that fits better on this panel. So I'm going to go ahead and get that cut out. Alright, so we got the top plexi panel, or not plexi, top acrylic panel cut down to the same size as the template here. So I'm basically just going to go ahead and tape this on and then redraw the holes for the joysticks and the buttons here. And then we'll get those drilled out, and then I'm going to go ahead and countersink these four. This way, once those are countersunk, the JLF is mounted, our new art will go over that, and then you won't see the actual joystick mount holes. The art will go over that, so it'll just look flush. This way it's going to look like an actual panel rather than something that a rando made in a storage unit arcade shop. So I'm going to go ahead and get this going. We'll pick it up once everything's marked and drilled. So it is the next day. We are back at the house, and basically what we got to do now is I have the rough holes drilled from yesterday at the shop. So now I'm going to take the Dremel tool over here, kind of widen these holes up a little bit so the buttons will actually fit. So I didn't have a 30mm drill bit, so it's like 1 1/4, so it's pretty close, but I guess I got to clean these up, grind them out so these buttons actually fit in here, and then we're going to go ahead and widen up the hole here for the joystick mount to fit in. So at the end of this, we'll actually have the joysticks and the buttons kind of mounted in there so we can kind of see what we're dealing with. So I'm going to go ahead and get the Dremel on these, and we'll pick it up once it's all cleaned up. Alright, so we have everything drilled All buttons are there. You can kind of see how the stick is going to mount. My new JLS are actually up at my shop, which I don't have today, but you can kind of get an idea of how everything's going to mount there. I just have it sitting there. So here you can see the buttons are kind of filled out. Over here we have these. There we have my Roomba that's super annoying and loud. But to flip this over, let me show you this real quick. You can kind of see how thick this polycarbonate is, but there will be enough room here. And it's kind of hard to tell, but there will be enough room for the acrylic panel that we're going to put on top and the art. And then once we have everything on there, the joystick will actually be the perfect height. These will be countersunk, so the screws will sit flat and the art will fit over this, so you won't see it. And then the last thing we have to do for this panel is drill our 2 start buttons. We're probably going to put home buttons or something else up here. But that's pretty much going to end it for this episode. Next time we will pick it up, grinding the metal to make sure this all fits, and cutting the acrylic, and then we'll get our art made, and then we'll be on to mounting the monitor. Thanks for watching. I know that video was a little bit short, so here's some pinball. So this is the gigantic refrigerator box that the topper comes in when you get a limited edition Jersey Jack pinball, and here is the hefty paper plate that comes in the box.
Oh, it's even smaller. Let's see.
I was hoping it was like triple wrapped, so it's even. Oh my god, that is very teeny. It looks nice though.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
We'll see what it looks like when it's on the game. Very pretty light shell. I see a reflection in this glass, so you gotta get it out.
Oh man.
Invisiglass my ass. No, it's like shocking how much reflection it removes. It's really cool. It's neat. Let's get some pre-dimple footage. I really love that.
Yeah, the topper does.
Yeah, the
look
topper
nice.
does. Yeah, it lights up really nice. It's really good. So there's just like a little LED strip under it or something?
Yep.
Cool. It's awesome.
Starting to selling that topper, it'd be $600-700.
Permission to come aboard. Shoot the chest to come aboard. Our goal. Big points. The tobacco comes.
So I'm gonna try to do this Canon thing. That means I gotta make a shot.
The snuff box.
Well, we'll get it.
It looks a lot wider than that.
Yeah, it is massive.
Player 3.
Yeah.